and welcome to Wrestle Culture.
There it is. Good so far.
Now, it does, isn't it?
Now into the song.
I'm waiting for Nicholas to arrive.
Okay, yeah, but into the song now.
Yeah, into the song.
For those that have seen the comments section where I briefed and measured expectations, there will be no song today. And there will be no introduction today because what I do is respond to positive feedback, right? And I've never had positive feedback to my songs or my quizzes.
To respond to peer pressure.
Or my quizzes, which, by the way, will change today.
We will be the judge of that.
Definitely do
we
not
are
expect
not letting
that to
you
happen.
be the judge of that.
I'm breaking the streak, boys. But no, I would like to welcome everybody to Wrestle Culture because Adam Wilborn is doing family duties and taking a well-earned day off. So somebody has come in to do his job. And we'll
done a song.
And we'll just,
someone has come in to half-ass his job.
And do a bit of his job.
Yeah, and also half-ass his fatherly duties promo from yesterday because if he did it properly today, it would mean it would be swear
There'd
film.
be effing and jeffing.
And he wouldn't be able to put it up on the edit because he's having to cut it.
My swear cutting is abysmal. These two have had to deal with the worst. Yes, hello.
I see.
Welcome
Don't
to
swear
Wrestle
when it's
Culture.
your job to cut them,
There's
but
a
when
lot
it's
of,
on someone else.
The power.
Lot of comments.
Power in our
We
hands
really
today.
need to get to the chat. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Wrestle Culture. I'm Michael Hamflett from WhatCulture, joined by Adam Nicholas from WhatCulture and Phil Chambers from WhatCulture to go through all the stuff from the week here in wrestling. I'm not going to do the intro spiel either. I feel empowered by Adam Nicholas telling me for months and months and months not to do it. No, it's not. I mean, it is.
Absolutely not.
It
He's
is.
in the middle of doing his intro.
I know, I'm not going to do an intro.
Polishing a
I'm gonna
turd.
do
I'm
half
not
an
going to.
intro.
Sidge is good at that bit, and I can't do that bit. But yes, we're here to review everything that's happened this week in wrestling. Have the crack. Well, maybe a bit.
Everything.
Some of the
Literally
stuff.
every damn thing.
Have the crack with all of you, and then round it off with a bloody good quiz. And I promise you, this week it's bloody
It better
good.
be.
I'm telling you now, right, and I'm saying this, and you can all see me say this, if I get to the end of this podcast and I'm doing an AI quiz, right? No, you've been warned.
Yeah.
If I get to the end of this podcast and AI is in the quiz, I ain't staying. I'm going. I've got much more important stuff to do than a rubbish AI quiz. Input by a rubbish person.
You'll be saying
He's doing an AI quiz to nobody.
You'll
Yeah,
be
to
saying
AI.
why
To AI.
not AI, Nicholas. You can have that good a time.
We will see.
We
will
shall
see.
I didn't provide any music today, but it would be unfair of me not to start with a company that did. AEW, Double or Nothing. Anarchy in the Arena is back? Question mark. Like universal praise.
Yeah.
Bodies. What else did they do? They had that like fife music for the Young Bucks as the founding fathers playing until like Kenny was like, turn that off.
Yeah.
Tony,
Saturday night's all right. No, they didn't have the I'm so excited. That's what they
yeah,
had.
Tony Khan got his one last go of I'm so excited, which is good for him because I liked it at the time.
Yeah.
I think people were too harsh too soon on that.
I agree.
They should just wheel out a jukebox for the next one, really.
Yeah.
So, like, as they go, like, the wrestlers can, like, change the theme on the jukebox or something, depending on what they're doing.
Like
If
the
someone
Fonz
puts a
Babyface
coin
thing
in,
where you-
Yeah.
like as they're fighting, they get to put a coin in and change the song.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm not having this, I want this on.
Yeah.
And it just goes through different tracks. Puts
It
them on-
smashes someone's face
Yeah.
into it. It's like changes the
Yeah.
track with every smash.
Write this down.
Yeah.
I love that. I love the idea of being mid-fight and then, when somebody's at the jukebox and taking a little bit too long because
Yeah.
they want it to be right. So, like, it's like he's coming behind you with a chair. Like, Nicholas, you listened to us go on for absolutely ages about this, very patiently.
Yes,
from
I
your
did.
Producer's chair, but we haven't really heard your thoughts in detail. What was your take on Anarchy in the Arena this year?
I thought it was really good. I thought, I know some people thought it was like top tier. I think because of the nature of it, I find it hard to be top tier because it's meant to be chaotic. It's meant to be all over the place. So like, maybe what I would want from it would be like a top tier match anyway. Would need more structure. But Jesus, like how much fun was this match? Like I had such a good time with it from the second that like you realize what was going on.
Yeah.
And the music changed and then it changed again. And you were like, okay. And the visible reaction of everybody. Like imagine being there.
Yeah.
Like this is how they should sell AEW to people. This is this is how they should do it. This is an experience. You won't get this experience at WWE until they steal it inevitably for something.
Yeah.
But at the minute, this is the only place you can get that. Like this idea that you would go to basically imagine going to a gig and then at the gig, an absolutely unbelievable song comes on to kick someone's ass to, and then you get to watch a bunch of people kicking each other's ass. That's like perfect. They should do more of this. Find the things that other companies aren't doing, make them their own. this is one of the best examples of them doing that, I think.
It's also, in terms of like a live selling point, the action is goddamn everywhere.
Yeah.
Like, you're not going to have a seat in that place where something weird and strange doesn't happen, like somewhere near you.
We've told the story on the podcast before when me and Sid were sat next to each other for the 2023 one, and you just it was a small enough venue, it's AEW. You could see all the fights even.
Wilbor's not here.
I know, but I'm feeling it too at the moment. I'm feeling pretty insecure. The pendulum's swinging. I don't like it. It's like I was watching, I think it was Kenny Omega jumping off a stage, and like Sidge was over it, like his eyes were over into a corner where the Young Bucks were doing something, and it was like elbowing each other to try and spot a thing while not missing something else. They captured that on camera again this year. Yeah, almost missing. Kenny Omega putting Nick, was it, through the exploding table at the end? And it's just like that's the chaos that they're finally, which isn't for everyone, but like does feel like it's returning to AEW. And you point out WWE could nick it. They can't do this. It's not that company.
Yeah. Not that. Certainly not that. They could steal the idea and do whatever their version of it would be. I bet it would be inferior. Yeah. but
silliness in the stadium.
Silliness. It's just the Looney Tunes theme. All right,
I'm back in.
He's back. That's an NXT bit, that I think. What was I going to say there? I just got distracted by Looney Tunes.
WWE's good. Yeah. Is that what it was?
No, it wasn't that, actually. It was far from that, actually. Something about AEW, but it's gone.
Well, no, they nailed it.
Who cares?
Yeah, it was like, and that's often what we say when an AEW show ends, but not this time. Not this time, because it was kind of one half of a double main event with another significant happening, I guess. Hangman Page, like somewhat surprisingly, it's a Gorilla Monsoon, isn't it? Yeah. Somewhat surprisingly defeating Will Ospreay to become #1 contender for the title at All in Texas. Couple of things here, Phil. The match, we haven't yet got the Meltzer rating on it. Mm-hmm. There's a bunch of star ratings that could drop while we're live from.
It's Ospreay. He's giving it at least 5.
Yeah, Double or Nothing.
5.5.
And Saturday night's main event and Battleground. You grounded, boom, wham.
The biggest question is, like with this, it's not come out yet. So what gets more, Ospreay, Hangman, or R-Truth and John Cena?
Oh,
which gets more stars?
It's tough. It is tough.
They were pretty close in terms of action.
I would say you're looking at around 6 stars for Ospreay Hangman, but unlike Ospreay Hangman, there was 2 stars in Cena versus R-Truth. The match itself, obviously, a bit of an epic, but also, in light of having seen it, what did you make of the match? Plus the story that came out, 3 days later, that both men were arguing to lose rather than win, considering that we assume that whoever wins this is actually going to rescue the title from Jon Moxley.
Yeah. So, I mean, starting with the story, because we can talk about the match later. I'm torn because it's like you always want people to be in the top spot. Like that's what makes wrestling interesting, is when you start getting those like little scrappy spots about like the politics and stuff behind it. Like that's the more interesting thing. But then you look at the entirety of like Daniel Bryan / Bryan Danielson's run, where he never really ever wanted the top spot and never really fought for it. The amount of other people he ended up making so much better throughout that, and like just still managing to create amazing moments, amazing like championship runs, like still got to the absolute goddamn top of the industry. But also being selfless at the same time. It's a much nicer place to be when people are like that, rather than what The Undertaker would have wanted back in the day with locker rooms in the 90s. So I feel like it's nicer for the industry, but that little bit of just pure drive to be the best is kind of missing from it, if that makes sense.
Did we have I haven't seen this story, so what have we got? What reasons?
So I think this story came from Sean Ross Sapp, and it was just ultimately going into like the week of, basically, apparently both of them were campaigning for the other one to win.
Not a first from Ospreay and AEW as well. The Strickland
again.
Again.
It came out
all that.
Yeah.
Reasons or no?
Oh right, yeah.
No, just that like I get
Thank you for repeating what we've just talked about, gentlemen.
But this is that they like each other.
I was going to say, but this is the thing. Like we talked about this on the AEW on the Dynamite review, and like there was an element of it where have they read the room better than we would have? Because I'm with Phil, right? I like my difficult men in pro wrestling. It's kind of the wrestling I was raised on. It's the when you first learn about the backstage machinations.
You know the top, what you do, and get out the business.
The bastards are the more fascinating ones. The Shawns, the punks, even, and like that's kind of what makes them captivating to me. But when you read, I remember the story broke, I was reading the comments, people were giving it the real, like, AEW's for me? Like, loving that I wonder if there's an idea of, like, they're trying to recreate that locker room feeling that was gone for a lot of years. It's like, maybe they've understood that this AEW audience wants the idea of harmony more than...
That locker room feeling that Punk ruined, you mean?
He should.
Is it not just... the reason I'm asking for reasons is, like, is it not, like, Ospreay concerned that if he does win the belt, he'll have to travel more because he's in the UK, and there's other reasons. Is it Hangman Page being like, God, I remember what happened last time I was the champ, and my life genuinely outside of wrestling probably was pretty bad for.
You're trying to make a nice moment worse by having like
that's why
selfish
I'm asking.
reasons within.
That would
I'm asking. I'm asking.
Like,
I genuinely, I'm curious to know if it was literally just no, you have it. No, you have it. I've already had it. You have it.
The reason not coming out, I think, is because that would harsh the vibe a bit.
Yeah.
I think they want it to be thought of as everyone's just so nice, but when you bring up those reasons, there's no such thing as a selfless good deed. That's fair, friends, you know.
Yeah, but that's why I'm asking, because I figure like it is a big deal. Being the champ means you are doing media all day, every day. Like
you're the guy.
You are the guy. There's no stop. Like, and Paige has probably done that already as well. And maybe I'm pure speculation. I don't know this, but that's interesting to me because I think if it is just a case of, no, genuinely, I think you should do it. It's a better story or whatever. What was it? I'm trying to think. There's like examples of people. Who was it? It was Bret Hart who wanted to lose to Terry Funk, right?
Yes, in his retirement.
In his retirement,
retirement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Retirement of the first or one of many, many retirements. Like, does that mean Bret Hart sucks?
No, it's totally different, Nicholas. You don't understand, you see.
No, I don't understand.
Because that's respecting the business.
Sorry, a good example.
Making a mockery of the business.
A good example that I had is bad.
No, it's different because it's Bret.
Right. And they're both wearing pink, though. So
to that point...
And black. So
to that point, it was the same fight. You are correct. Terry Funk was pushing back, saying, "No, I want to go out on my back." That's what the business is. And Bret was like, "Come on, Terry, it's like a spot show in Amarillo. Like, just let your family cheer you for the night."
Have it.
Like, no, it's not the business. So this is like, I think it's interesting that Hangman Page maybe does have some of those like memories about the title. Sige made a point that maybe both of them are quietly thinking, the money is always in the chase. Yeah. Like if you are still the one chasing and the fans don't lose faith in you, you're going to be potentially hotter for longer.
Maybe there's the whole thing here of like you joke about it all the time. The Punk blew it all up and all that thing, but like genuinely, Ospreay has probably looked at Hangman's reign and thought, well, the chase was the best. Like, and I didn't mind his title reign. I know a lot of people were like, no, on it, but the chase was 100 times better than it. I will accept that. Maybe not 100, but it was better.
Yeah.
He might have looked at that and thought the same. Hangman might as well have thought, well, I remember doing it.
Yeah.
And then I also remember that, like, it caused a rift because if, say, like, he gets it and then Ospreay ends up getting it off him or something like that, do you know what I mean? It can mess up. People have these loyalties. And he certainly is one who seems to have, like, the diehard AEW fans, like, do not want you messing with the Hanger. Like, and this can happen. It should be able to happen. People should be able to lose matches and not implode an entire company. and yet.
You can look back quite far in terms of the championship reigns in AEW as well. And the champion at the time was always hotter just before they won the title than they were when they lost the title. Every single one of them, like the chase. And then the reign, it's fine, whatever. Lost, dropped quite far down the card immediately. And I'm not saying you shouldn't cycle out the top champions, but there's less space there for everybody.
There's a real art to keeping that. Like Cody Rhodes made it look easy, and that was what made you realise, he is the John Cena, because he made that look fairly straightforward.
Yeah.
I would definitely support the argument, though, that you want... Like, I like the idea that they would both want to put... It's no different, like as you said, Bryan Danielson wanting to put people over instead. But to me, I also like the idea of someone goes like, give me the ball.
Yeah.
Give me the ball.
Especially in that...
I'll go with
what I can do.
But it's a lot, because by design... or by the fact that the Death Riders have been pretty crap. You're moving into this moment now where it's like, you can feel it. The bottle top is about to come out of the bottle, and like everybody's going to be excited again because you're going to get to see your belt again, and maybe the Death Riders will be gone forever. Probably not, spoiler. But that's right there. And if you're going to be the person who is responsible for holding that belt, which the end of the Death Riders and the return of the belt means in everybody's eyes, well, it's back now, so it better be really, really good. That's what they're doing.
Whoever is next has to be the one to bring the feeling back.
Yeah, they are.
Like, they
They're
have to
pushing
be.
the two together. They are literally forcing them together, and that is a lot. That is a lot. But I would still want the person who wants to be at the top of this business go, yeah, me, let's go.
Well, like
Jericho then probably.
Jericho.
Oh, God.
Hey, just give it to me, boss. Look at all these branches. Look at all the belts I can put on these branches, right? I'm a tree.
I'll hang them all. Hangman has won or lost, depending on how you see it, like this first big political battle or this first big step back to the title. Phil?
I mean, it doesn't mean
finger
he has
guns
to
to
win.
head.
It doesn't mean he has to win the belt.
Does he win the belt?
If he doesn't want to win the belt, then Moxley can keep going forever. Then And
7
that'll be-
weeks out,
that'll
Darby
be
Allin still
good,
coming down a
right?
mountain. Like,
Maybe there's also that
There's also
because
that.
is there anybody? We don't know all the factors. What if the factor is you beat John Moxley for the belt and then Darby Allin beats you the next night? Like you don't know. You don't know. You don't know
no.
what it is.
Yeah.
You don't know what the. I don't know that. But what if that's the plan? And Tony Khan's like, I really want Darby to win that belt. So, like, what was I reading recently? Well, it was obviously after Sabu passing. It was saying he didn't want to drop the belt to one guy, so he dropped it to Taz, who then dropped it immediately on the same night or something.
When Mike Awesome signed for WCW, there was nobody within ECW that WCW wanted him to drop the belt to. So Taz, who at this point...
No, this
not
is different.
that one. Was
this
this
a different one? Something about Sabu had the belt, and there was another guy who he didn't want to drop the belt to, so he dropped it to Taz instead.
Oh, okay.
And then Taz immediately dropped it to this guy just to avoid that.
Right.
And the point being, like, imagine that happening with this Mox thing. Someone takes the belt off him, and then it's like a big shock. Darby's back from the mountain, everyone. And it's like, well, we'll put it on banger, and Darby's going to have it because we'll just get back to where
You're
I
saying
wanted
John
to go.
Moxley hates Darby Allin and doesn't want to drop the belt to him?
Sounds like you said it to me, Phil. Sounds like if you check the tape back, that's what you said.
He's been very careful with the jobs he's done, as John Moxley, over the last 5 or 6 years as well.
One of them is not wrestler.
No. That's good.
You like that?
That's good stuff. We've been talking about like the stuff that big AEW fans will love. And we've got a big AEW fan in the comments trying to cause trouble. Mr. Phoenix, hello as always. First of all, he notes, I'm heartbroken we didn't get Sige on the AEW review this week. Pro like him would surely call out main event talking segment, Team Who Chase You, opening promo train, Ricochet exposition dump, and Cole almost dying. I think you're causing trouble, Mr. Phoenix. Dynamite review, wherever you get your podcasts, on the YouTube channel as well. I thought it was a good show. Wilbon, not so much. We have a bit of a debate about it. We have a lot of fun. But Mr. Phoenix has also been on, still trying to cause some trouble, saying, hey guys, I'll throw this one to both of you. Since WWE are accused of gobbling up AAA and poaching from TNA, what lessons could they learn from AEW's gobbling up of Ring of Honor and poaching of New Japan Pro Wrestling? He's trying to create a little turf war there, but there's an interesting question. Like, Ring of Honor is what
They won't
in
learn anything.
I mean,
2025?
it's also
Nobody
fine because
will-
everything that AEW did to Ring of Honor, they learned from WWE doing to like Progress and ICW and countless
the
other
territories.
and every other
The
territory in the
territories.
history of
The
wrestling.
territories
Like
to
forget
create
everything. Like you
WWE.
can go back.
Yeah.
There's levels to this game, and WWE are
The kings of it. But yeah,
People got short memories, buddy.
the germ of the point, I suppose, is that Ring of Honor in 2025.
No, we've answered the question. Don't try and detract now because the answer is the Fed did it first and they killed
Fed
everyone.
did it.
The
Like
Fed did
Simpsons
it.
did it, but Fed did it.
The Fed will always do it first. The bad thing that you know about the Fed
Being
did it first.
being the market leader, is that you're leading the charge on some terrible things as well.
Maybe, actually, this ties us into something else I would have thought to bring up anyway. Trick Williams has become the TNA World Champion.
Yes, he has.
Making history at Battleground, defeating Joe Hendry. They are already on the road to setting up Mike Santana, of course, formerly of AEW, proud and powerful, as Trick's first challenger, only challenger. Maybe he's the one that takes the belt back.
It seems like Nick Nemeth might have something to say to this.
Nick
If
Nemeth's-
you look at the interview that's on our YouTube channel right now, WhatCulture Wrestling.
He's not happy about it, is he? He's not happy about it.
Would you be happy if someone from Newcastle was holding the title from Sunderland?
I wouldn't love it.
You know what I mean?
I wouldn't love it. I wouldn't love
It's
it.
weird. It's a weird look.
It's
Would you like it if Newcastle came to play at your stadium and your owner turned the whole thing into Newcastle?
you need to give me a more realistic example
That's
of a thing
true.
that could
That is
actually
true.
happen.
No, you're correct.
I couldn't see
I've missed-
something
I've
that
missed-
stupid
I've missed
taking
the
place.
vibe there. I've missed it.
Sorry, you've maybe reminded me that like if they have to close St James's Park and you have to play
I
there
know.
for a few minutes,
It's
I'm
gonna
really
be-
stressed about
It's going to
this.
be terrible.
Nobody's going to like
It's going to be so bad for everybody.
Phil will be all right for it. He just loves the game of football.
Yeah.
He just loves the beautiful
Loves-
game.
I'm
He's
there
just here for the
there
referee.
game.
Yes, he's just
I'm here for the
Referee
referee.
for the VAR, actually. That's
No
my favourite
goalkeepers
bit.
for both teams.
We're all VAR guys there.
Where's
No.
Tim Flowers?
Yeah, Trick Williams, TNA champion, the NXT TNA relationship continues, I guess. WWE's relationship with TNA. Like, how far do they go with this? They've put the belt on a, like, I know he's NXT, but a WWE
want
superstar.
to go.
That's it. Well, whatever they want to.
Whatever WWE wants,
swing it around.
Yes, please.
Because
thank you, sir. May I have another?
can you ever see it the other way around? Can you see a TNA star being NXT champion?
No, the context has got to be spot on. I thought Jordan Grace had half a chance against Roxanne Perez last year.
I actually thought she was the one that sold me on maybe it could happen.
And then
she would have been. Yeah. If they wanted to make a statement that it's going to work both ways, she would have been the one.
It's still exactly what are we now? How many months into this? If you find the tapes, they're out there somewhere of me and Phil having this discussion months and months ago with Will Bourne, where it was like, this will not end well at TNA. And we haven't even got... How many months? Maybe 3, if you're lucky. Maybe 4 to push, if I'm being generous. And TNA have lost their world title to Trick Williams. Jordan Grace has left to sign for WWE.
Plus actual wrestlers.
Joe Hendry is on his way if he's not already.
There'll be more. There'll be more.
Joe Hendry's contract's up at the end of this year.
Yes.
So, I mean, he's 100% going. If they don't buy him out of it sooner.
There's like, we have barely started.
Yeah.
It's going.
Mike Santana working on Tuesday was obviously for the benefit of TNA, but he'd be mad not to be thinking, I want to impress Shawn Michaels. I want Triple H to see
I actually genuinely...
That's reasonable, right?
I don't think it's bad for the wrestlers. Like,
no, that's what I mean. It's an opportunity now. And as you'll probably see, it's weird because it feels like it's becoming the... If WWE release you, go to Impact Wrestling.
Yeah.
TNA, sorry. And you will end up in that sphere of basically like the reserve team.
Yeah.
That, no disrespect to anybody who's a massive TNA fan, but that's like, you know,
that's where the Ring
how WWE. That's how WWE are positioning themselves. In like, if you get released and you go and join them, you might just end up cycling back into NXT. Yeah. You have one good night in NXT and remind people how good you are, and they go, I think we'll have him back actually.
It's like the conveyor belt in the Generation game. The cuddly bear goes fast. And they just move the cuddly bear back to the front of the thing, and eventually it's going to come back round again.
Eventually, you're going to get that cuddly bear again.
Picturing this production line of extra. Nick Nemeth, Santino Marella, just like cycling the cuddly toy. It's there was a
also the other way around. Obviously, the people in NXT who aren't getting a run at it or in WWE can go there and prove themselves again. So
they have Ariana Grace, obviously as of last night's TNA. I'll not spoil the result, but last night's Impact. Ariana Grace, of course, the daughter of Santino Marella,
I saw the clip.
See the mixed tag with the assistant to Ava.
Robert Stone.
Okay. Back kind of half Robbie E from his old TNA as well.
He had the Sheriff Stone jacket on. It was pretty good.
With the former Alicia Fox as his partner. Right. So it's a real mishmash era. You've got Indy Hartwell's signed for TNA. And it's all, there was a theory.
And she's surely got to have that. That's like, there's no way. There was no way you're not saying that and going, well, I know this and I would like to get back there.
Yeah.
Got to monitor that one.
It's basically like they've created a story factory for themselves. Yeah. Where it's like, you know, when you've got to go away.
Yeah. It's like a military territory system that isn't territories. It's
they're sending them off
to somewhere else.
Sending them away from WWE off to WCPW to get really good at wrestling and then to come back round from that journey.
That's it. TNA's the new WCPW.
As the WWE champion. Twice.
There was a theory I saw, which I can't even really call a conspiracy theory because I'm pretty sure it's nailed on. And I can't remember the Twitter account, but it wasn't the first one to make this. When you started seeing those images of those really like impressive houses that TNA are drawing for these pay-per-views, just like really nice camera shot and stuff, the idea that WWE have really done this to create the idea that there is a number 2 promotion in America that's not All Elite Wrestling, just to elevate TNA up enough that enough people have that I'm doing it now. That conversation that like, TNA the number 2. They're not. It's All Elite Wrestling. But the perception becomes reality and that TNA take that spot.
It's the same, but ECW, they helped out when they were struggling with WCW. It's like they have a thing and like, oh, what if we did something with this guy? And then they just
and then Paul Heyman says, I hate the big boys. That one more. Like,
thanks for the cash.
Money.
Thanks for the cash. I hate you. I love you.
No, it does. It's just like, and then we'll bring it up now because there's been loads of examples of it this week. The announcement of the Great American Bash taking place on the afternoon of All In. Because who doesn't love an afternoon Great American Bash? Total coincidence on the same weekend that Evolution 2 is taking place. And now...
Doesn't matter what time it was on, me and Phil will be there, obviously, with bells on.
Yep.
Watching it.
Yeah.
loving it.
8. I don't know if you've
I
seen
also
this.
like the counter-programming themselves with Saturday night's main event and Evolution 2 as well.
This is not counter-programming in AEW.
Because we can't just let the women have a thing. We've got to let the man have a thing
Just
too.
programming. Just loads of
I
wrestling.
just want to give themselves some stats to basically say, like, well, you didn't do very well, did you?
Yeah.
And we put the new show on, so there was 2 other shows on. Why are you doing this?
AEW doing their summer residence at the
Oh,
2300
does that-
arena.
Sorry,
That's very
that,
funny.
does that mean it will just be an all-bloke pay-per-view? Like, all-bloke
Saturday night's main
night?
event, probably. Oh,
That would lift. I don't know, because is it not the? I thought Evolution, I'll be honest, was on the Sunday.
yeah, it's
So
the
you've
day
got-
before, yeah.
So you got Saturday night's main event Saturday night.
Yeah.
Royal American Bash Sunday afternoon.
Yeah.
Evolution Sunday
Oh,
night.
it's just
Yeah.
like divided. They're not
Yeah,
on the
they're
same
not,
day.
yeah,
I was going to say.
But they
What,
might.
what a gross like byproduct. It would defeat the point, wouldn't it? Well, it's all men on Saturday night's main event.
Saturday night's
Same
main
time,
event.
Yeah. Blokes and women. Yeah.
But the 8 days before AEW park up at the ECW arena for
Yeah.
a month and a bit.
Yeah.
WWE run a show there.
Of course they are.
It's funny, isn't it? It's
Because they
fun.
just want one night where they can say we do more people than you for the
Yeah.
for your and every night of your tour kind of thing.
You gotta layer.
They'll find a way
course
of
you
making
do.
that building like the space they take up somehow smaller so they can
Yeah.
fit extra chairs in.
Looks
Just
better.
like leave a load
Yeah.
of cars in there on purpose. Like just hire a bunch of cars and just leave them in the spaces.
Or just randomly do a standing room only show for some reason, just so
Yeah.
they can pile more people into that building.
It's on
like an old student house prank where they leave some like fish under the bed or
Yeah.
something. It's like,
Or
"What's
like-
that smell?"
or
Like
like-
behind the radiator.
They all like get outside the door, locked to the locker rooms. There's a big long corridor, and they just get all those plastic cups and fill them with water. So they're like literally an entire corridor full of little plastic cups with plastic water. So like, how am I supposed to get out here? It's literally like a half a mile long.
Screw all the chairs to the ceiling and
Yeah,
turn the movement.
just like someone's took ages. 1 cup, 2 cup, 3 cup, 4 cup, 5 cup, 6 cup, 7 cup, 8 cup, 9 cup, 10 cup, all the way back. Literally tons of them. I'll see you in the ring.
Kenny Omega has a 5-star, but everyone else really struggles.
Yeah.
Like, he's like, I like this.
He'd find a way to have that match
I like
over the
the-
cups. Wouldn't he?
Yeah.
Just bring it here.
Yeah,
Rest all the
it's,
cups.
AEW are like they're big on this summer. They're having this. Obviously, you've got All In. They're pushing back on this idea. There's all this counter programming that like
They've got to just ignore it, by the way. If
They do.
just
Yeah.
WWE are going to do this forever.
Yeah.
Yep.
No matter how good or bad you are, they're going to do it forever.
Yeah.
Just ignore it. Get on with it.
Yeah.
you will be judged by the quality of your booking more than anything else. And people are just, and as well, like I think it's worth. This is, I guess, to anybody if there's an AEW fan watching that has taken offence at this counter programming or whatever. Like, if they were in your town, would you have gone to both? No, you'd have picked the one you prefer. That's not going to change. Like,
There's never been a time it's easier to watch them all anyway, like
Yeah.
streaming platforms and things like that. Like, it's so easy. It's not like it was 20 years ago and you had to go and find a tape of the other show because you couldn't watch it live on TV or something like that. Like,
Yeah.
it's
We just have
easy.
a guess.
It's
Yeah.
In my head, this happened.
if there are people that will watch everything, they will find the time and the space to watch everything, and the order almost doesn't matter. Sometimes they're giving the extra day for the show means that you're kinder to it than watching live when you're tired, and that certainly happened at various points in Double or Nothing. But Steve, to that point, Steve Nikolakopoulos has been on. G'day, gents. Thoughts, I don't know if either of you will have seen this yet. Thoughts on the Harley Cameron and Anna Jay versus Megan Bayne and Penelope Ford match. This was the tag match from Dynamite that drew concern more than criticism, I would say, for a couple of significant botches in which I think both, I know Harley Cameron definitely did, but I think both her and Anna Jay both suffered broken noses or exploded faces. They're not in a good way.
It's been a
I
week
have
for her,
somehow
hasn't it?
not seen any of this.
There was a missed Doomsday device that wasn't a worked one. Like, she's on the shoulders and Penelope Ford flies past her and doesn't hit her, and they'd have to bump off it anyway. And like, you're watching it back, you're like, oh no. But then you see Harley Cameron's face and Penelope Ford's thinking, I got nothing to aim at that isn't going to make you worse.
I can't hit you with this, basically. So.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, it's worth a look, but it generated a bit of conversation basically around women's tag belts, I guess, in AEW, but maybe wasn't the best example.
Yeah.
You see that one, Nicholas? Have you caught
Yes,
that yet from this week? What did you make of all that?
Not as much as everybody else, I guess. Stuff happens in wrestling.
Yeah.
Like I think it's because I don't watch as frequently as I used to. So maybe that would be like, did you know? But it's like, yeah, all right. Like literally in the same week as Chelsea Green gets a broken nose from a 619.
Yeah.
Harley Cameron's getting a broken nose, and potentially it's like we should stop breaking each other's noses,
Yeah.
guys and gals. Like
A lot of potatoes.
Just,
more potatoes than Steve Austin's
it's a
early
good time
days.
to be the doctor, you know. That's what I'm saying. Fix his noses. Like, hey, we're bringing it on in.
In which case, I will throw the second part of Steve's message to you, Phil,
Hello.
Who should take the TBS title off Yes, Yes, Y'all, So Fresh, Y'all, Snoop Dogg and Mane are the best, y'all? I guess this is working on the assumption that she will potentially...
The mixed tag team between Snoop Dogg and Mercedes Moné, obviously.
Well, obviously, yeah.
Clearly, that's
probably where it is.
We're not going to have women's belts, but we will have mixed tag belts, and Snoop Dogg and Mercedes Moné will win it.
I guess that's a prediction from Steve that maybe Mercedes beats Toni Storm at All In, becomes the world champion, and then they
Someone needs to
surrender the title, or she has to lose to somebody so she's not the belt collector. Or that, like, I think they might unify it,
Do you think?
I reckon so. They're going to do it with Kenny and Okada, aren't they? It's like they've been on a bit of a
different
clean...
belts, though.
Yeah,
that is very different belts.
Very different
my
belts.
thinking is, because Tony Khan...
I think he likes his TNT and
TBS,
his
TNT, world titles, that's all you need.
I think he's mooted tag belts, and I think he's going to have one women's singles title and a set of women's tags.
Just completely giving up. Oh, I see.
See what I mean?
I was going to say, he's just completely given up on women's booking. I've tried, guys. I've had enough of this.
It means literally just the
Just one match a
the
show, it'll
AEW
be
World
fine.
Championship, the men's, and then just the women's tag belts. That's it. Everything else,
That's it,
everything
that'll
else is
do.
gone.
That'll get 'em. No,
Yeah.
make it women's trios, and then you can just get them all into one
yeah.
match and be done with them.
That's a women's. What would be the belt if it was 5 of them?
What?
Cincos.
Yeah.
Cincos.
The women's Cinco.
The women's Cinco.
There's your answer, Steve. It's the women's Cinco, obviously.
There you go.
Who would? Yeah, I guess who would you pluck? Like, it's been a good year for women's wrestling in AEW. The rosters.
Yeah.
Hang on, I just want to say this because I feel like if that clip comes out of context, Cinco is in 5, not as in women in Cincos where you
God, yeah.
do the dishes.
Good catch.
I need that one. I need that
Five.
one. 5.
Five.
What's this
Five,
now?
like
It's like
a half tie
dilly.
Ugh. That was gross. It must be him, this, because you've spent too much time with him now.
Yeah.
It is
That's
him.
how it goes.
He's
I'm a
like a
mind
fungus.
melder.
He's like a fungus that gets in your brain. You're a
Speaking of women's-
cordyceps.
It's like the women's division. He's the Texas Spaniard.
Texas
He's Tekla
Spaniard.
himself.
Tekla.
Let that play out.
Yeah.
She's had,
Hey,
she's had some unfair penalties
She's
this
had
week,
some-
I
yeah,
think.
she's
it
had
was,
some
It was
harsh.
a bit funny, but like...
I think it was more to do with the production thing,
Yeah.
element than anything
agree.
else. Like, and it doesn't help. Like when the production already felt like it's hard to put your finger on it. Was it a production gaff? Was it did she hit her too early?
Mm-hmm. Were they looking for shock?
Yeah, were they
Yeah.
looking for the shock factor and maybe just didn't land the way it was supposed to? But then it's hard when like that gimmick might be quite good if it hasn't just followed whatever the gaff was.
We will see, yeah.
I hope she turns up and kicks some ass.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, well, hey, yo, shut your mouth. Toxic spiders are actually good, apparently.
I am being ignorant on purpose and
Yeah.
not watching her prior work to be shown it in AEW.
Yeah.
I'm like, I've not seen her wrestle. The Texas Spider is reminiscent of gimmicks that often fail long term.
Yeah.
But, especially in like North America, but if the work's good, it's AEW. That'll be the thing that people gravitate most towards.
Is it a gimmick or is it a... I guess we don't know because none of us have watched any stuff. Is it just a name? Like MMA fighters have names all the
You
time.
can do that and it's become
Yeah.
a nickname, yeah.
It's
Like
just-
yeah.
Doesn't have to be. Doesn't have to be an actual. I'm a spider.
It's just, she's an actual toxic
But just
spider.
because they've produced it with a spider on, AEW
Yeah.
doing like a. It's like WWE, you know. There's a secret spider on the screen.
It's you gotta lay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got beaten Mercedes, Phil.
I got no idea. The toxic spider.
There we go.
Push it to the
Push
moon.
it to the
straight away.
moon.
I'm going to be the first person to beat Mercedes in AEW.
I think she might relinquish
I was thinking she might relinquish.
because she'll say
She
like,
beats Toni Storm, by the way. You were thinking...
I don't know. I'm not saying if she is to win the
Yeah.
belt.
Yeah.
That's what I was meaning. She would relinquish.
I think it'd be a hell of a one for her to not win because she's been on a winning streak, obviously.
Yeah.
Winning everything all over the world, not just in AEW.
She did lose a belt though.
She did
She's
lose
lost
the
one.
belt, but
She's not lost in
She
AEW.
didn't get pinned, though. I know she
Yeah,
didn't get pinned.
and
She
she's not
was
lost in
right.
AEW. But to have her finally find something she can't beat would be amazing for Toni Storm.
I tell you what they've done again, which is great. You don't know who's going to win
Yeah.
on either of them. I don't
Nobody
think.
can afford to lose.
You can't. Nobody can afford to lose that one, and certainly not the Hangman Mox one.
Yeah.
You just don't know if they've got longer term plans. Is
Yes,
Ospreay
true.
coming back around? Is Swerve coming back around? And is Hangman just going to do a tried it, failed it? Like,
You never know. The thing with the Mercedes thing is if she wins against Toni Storm and then she somehow drops the TBS title, her first loss being sort of secondary to the title that she's already got makes everything mean a little bit less.
Yeah.
So either if she relinquishes it and then they do a tournament or whatever, and then she can go on and do that, and then whenever she does lose and whoever beats her, it means a lot more because it's for the main belt.
Yeah.
Or like they do some kind of screwy thing. What was it? I was just trying to think. Like like noughties era WWE, I swear, like someone had 2 belts and they did like
Kurt
one
Angle.
match where it was like a
Kurt
different
Angle,
fall.
Benoit, Jericho.
Yeah.
Where Angle had both belts and he lost both belts.
Yeah.
One to Benoit, one to Jericho.
Like it was different fall, one fall
Yeah.
for one belt, and then
Yeah.
like something like that. But then it's like, is that diminishing the loss as well and not getting the most out of it? Like,
I suppose you could have, if Mercedes did win the first one, you then have winner take all in the rematch against Tony Storm. Both belts on the line. It creates the same problem, but at least then you raise the stakes for the rematch between the two down the line.
Yeah.
Tony like gets another shot at it. It's like, obviously we've got 7 weeks, I think, till All In, but the promo, I'm just going to put it over again because we did in the review, but the main event promo given to Tony and Mercedes, not something that happens in AEW very often. They being AEW seem to be aware of just what an awesome match they've arrived at here and the patience to save it. And there's been like Tony Storm.
Bookend promos, but I'm not trying to take the spotlight away. I just think the show was bookended really nicely by the 2 brilliant promos about 2 matches. You don't know who's going to win.
Flipped from the pay-per-view for some balance as well.
Yeah.
For some, like
absolutely
genuine attempt at parity, which is nice. Tony Storm through Instagram, I think, and she's not on Twitter, but like was posting pictures of her last night in WWE where she's hugging Sasha in the ring. Right. It might as well be a million years ago now, that must have. But like, I don't think obviously the two of them, saying without saying that they didn't have the best of ends in WWE and now they're their final forms, makes AEW feel like the show again. This is the dance.
It's also one like you go like someone moves over like the sort of scale of Mercedes money.
Yeah.
You automatically get loads of dream matches in your head of we can get this now. This is 100% one of those. But like they've also not hugely delivered on some of the other ones. Like the Britt Baker one is the main example All In. Like both the build and the payoff were not exactly the best, but it feels like this one's already topped everything they did in that entire program. Yeah.
The match can't miss as well. Like, I don't want to put that.
Well,
I don't want to
she put it on herself.
Mercedes has done it. We're going to have the best women's match ever. Like,
we had different feelings when that was said. I watched you talk about this yesterday, and I totally understand, and I do back it that, like, the confidence, good on her for backing themselves, and like, but my reaction was, oh, come on now. Like, I remember the last time, the last All In, like. That's a hard thing to put on yourself. Yeah. I believe if there's any 2 who can deliver it, it's those 2 for sure.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like they'll at least be on the same page. And
well, it feels like the kind of match that, whether you're allowed to say it or not, they will rehearse the arse off to make sure they get it right. And they both will want that. And they'll both want to absolutely smash it. But
I mean, I think it's fair saying that there's no chance in hell Ospreay doesn't reverse.
That's no criticism of anybody who's rehearses. I'd much rather they rehearsed them. That run of NXT matches that were unbelievable was because all it did was rehearse them and rehearse.
I
don't need to know. I don't care. Just
put
have
on
a great
amazing
match.
matches.
Put on an amazing match that fits and
incredible.
works.
It's great.
And then nobody can complain about it because you nailed it.
Yeah.
And then if you get it wrong, get out because you rehearsed it all week. What you're doing? Do you know what I mean? That's. But no, genuinely, they're gonna want to do this. It made me go like, oh, you said it. And it was exactly what I thought of Edge when he's like, I mean, what are you supposed to do with that?
Yeah.
So someone tells you you're going to call it the greatest match ever. And you're like,
other than calling Bret Hart, as we found out. I'm going to need the best ever to get me through this.
And unfortunately, Mercedes can't call Eddie Guerrero.
But you can call Eddie Hart. Just make names up now. She can call Bret Hart.
I was going to say, she could call Teddy Hart, but that. She'd probably better go for
Probably better just go for Bret. Let's stick with Bret.
Call Bret first if he's not in. And he's sometimes not.
Then call literally anyone else. And then maybe.
She could call Jimmy Hart. I hear he likes women's wrestling.
This has all gone wrong. They're going to have a great match, I hope. That's what I will say. But I was like, oh, don't do that to yourself. But also, I just said I want someone to grab the ball and say they want to go with it. So I think fair play to that. I hope they kick the ass out of that match.
So I assumed as OG Stem Cell. Hello, as always, OG Stem Cell. There's a question about MJF, but first I just want to say, he said, my girlfriend and I are taking my son to All In this year, his first pay-per-view experience. Wow, That's a good one.
How old is he?
Yeah, let us know in the comments. How old is the OG Stem Cell? Adam, it's his first pay-per-view in Dallas as well, wasn't it?
My first pay-per-view was in Dallas, NXT TakeOver Dallas, and it was all downhill from there.
The second one was in Dallas too.
The second one was in Dallas too. It was just a little show called WrestleMania 32.
He's also asked, now that MJF is in the Hurt Syndicate, can we get MJF ad-libbing with West Side Gun for the entrance song, please? Which I would be all for, because they continue to pull off stuff with MJF in the Hurt Syndicate that
they shouldn't be able to.
It's like, there's a really fine line, and they're nailing it. And there's this history of him and the entrance themes. If you think of like Jericho and Adam Cole, he sells it well.
Yeah,
like,
he does.
It's weird how he sort of almost shape shifts into like a figure that can do that when he's normally the serious heel.
Yeah, I think it's because his entrance music is stock music that he just found on the internet and has had for however long.
Still great though.
So maybe when he gets a chance to play around with other people's, he puts himself all into
I feel
it.
like
Can't do anything
that
with it.
started off when everyone had the same reaction of like, oh,
What the hell is that?
and then it's a
iconic.
perfect example of like it's like the old man makes the belt or whatever. The belt is made, flip it around. It's like the music can be whatever it is, but if you're good enough and you back it, it does have that. You could get away with that as one of our 8-bit tunes, couldn't you? It wouldn't need much changing, but he nails it.
You're making me think there, like, about people, wrestlers making the title. Is this on, like, all of WWE to make the theme? Like, Roman Reigns made a Death Rebel one good. Like, that's the challenge on most WWE wrestlers is to get a Death Rebel theme over.
That must be... How many have they done that are actually passable?
Oh, God.
Yeah, they got the Roman Reigns one. I feel like there's one...
That feels like, when they were trying for the contract, you know what I mean?
Yeah, which is...
It's just like they do it.
Yeah.
Because it's basically...
It's Succession as well, isn't it?
Exactly.
They've lifted it.
They've lifted it.
Which is fine.
And
that's
that
always happened.
didn't exactly have the greatest reaction when it first came out.
No.
Nobody liked it.
No.
I'm struggling to think, but I know there is one that went down really... It'll come back to me in a bit, but like that's the problem though, isn't it? When you're talking, like when you're grasping for one or two examples and nobody's... It's WWE. Like that was the bread and butter, to have themes, and it's such a big part of it. And
A wrestler will have Bodies as their theme song soon, won't they?
in WWE,
Yeah.
We'll have that back. Thank you very much.
Yeah. And we've signed a contract with them now, so you can never use it again. So what are you going to do now?
Steve Nicolopoulos was back on to say Phil, Michael, Adam in the same room at the same time. What is this, a crossover episode? The former Edward Shiraz, of course.
Yeah.
He's asking why didn't they use mbop instead of bodies? Like, you got a bit of that with the Pointer Sisters. I don't mind the idea of something very poppy, very cheesy, at least as like
a juxtaposition.
Yeah, I think it worked really well this year, and I think you can do that again.
I do, but I think it wouldn't. I liked it better when it made the switch. Like, I felt like there's definitely a time and a place for that vibe.
Yeah.
Unless it's like perfect. You got to get the song absolutely perfect for Anarchy in Arena. Like, for that
Bring
to work.
Tarantino in, get him to soundtrack it.
What would he play?
Probably Ennio Morricone at this point.
Yeah, it was good. Just that.
Pulp Fiction era.
just
Tarantino.
the Pulp Fiction soundtrack, actually.
They're all in suits. They're all in suits.
If it all boils down and they're just releasing a compilation of the Anarchy in the Arena soundtrack, that would be very funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
all the
show.
songs that they've used over the years.
I don't know, there's just something specific about that. They captured a vibe there for me, I think. And you could see it in the audience, like, because they know that age group of audience that they typically aim at, they were that age, the early noughties, that was their whole bread and butter, wasn't it? So it's like, there are so many songs. Basically, if you go back and listen to WWE's like pay-per-view songs from the 2000s, literally it's all them. There'll be Saliva, I'll do one soon, let me sit in the middle of that. Like, there's tons of them you could pick from.
The butt rock well is deep, isn't it? I think for them to mine from,
Probably stay away from the Marilyn Manson ones. Maybe.
Yeah, probably. Probably.
You'd probably stay away from the Disturbed ones as well.
Probably stay away from quite a lot of them, Phil. If you do enough homework on enough people, Phil, you'll not be listening to music anymore, will you? So
just imagine the scale of the flexor. Like Kenny does the promo next year. We want some 2000 butt rock, whatever. And everyone's like, all right, we go again. And it's just Steve Austin's Disturbed music. The Glass Smash is
It's just WWF Music Volume 4.
It's a Disturbed song.
I tell you what. How funny would it be if they just, you got this moment. It's like, we're going to play a song. You know the drill. It's Anarchy in Arena, but first it's got to get a special announcement. It's a song from AEW's favorite band.
Oh, God.
And it's Limp Bizkit somehow. Like, they completely ripped that bit of, like, from WWE's favorite band. Fred Durst comes out and does this on telly, but he's fine now, because obviously he's allowed to do it now. It doesn't look like the same Fred Durst, unfortunately.
It doesn't.
And then he plays, like...
Dad Durst.
Dad Durst. I thought you were going to call him Dead Durst there.
Not there yet.
Can't wear his red cap anymore either, can he? Realise that. He's kind of had that one nicked off him.
Yeah.
Mimi Burris, shout out Mimi. Mimi's added, by the way, no promotions yet, but maybe soon. We're all keeping our fingers crossed, Mimi. But, Mimi's added, this is a great question, when will the What Culture live show come to us in Florida? Do you think there will be a WrestleMania here in the future? Well, like, we'd love What culture? Any excuse.
WWE definitely like Florida.
Well, I've done a WWE. We've done WWE in Florida.
We have done WWE.
Yeah, not together, but
Not
we were
together.
both there.
Oh, yeah,
But
no,
yeah,
like
both
that.
the
there.
same one, yeah.
For very different reasons, but both there.
2017 feels like an age for WWE not to have done a Mania in Florida, but that sort of speaks to where we're at now, doesn't it? Like the site fees thing and the
Lockdown.
Oh, Tampa, of course. I was thinking of Orlando.
Tampa, I was
the half empty one. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Shut up, you idiot.
I'm
Don't
wrong.
you remember the tale, Michael?
Boy,
Let me take you back to 2019.
just blocked out.
I really have. We were going to go the original Tampa. and it's like- the second one was dead to me. No, it'd be class if they went back to Florida, like the Pirate Building, but full, not the post-pandemic Mania. Like that'd be class.
Yeah, it would be great. I just quickly not that we want to delve into this particular thread, but on the topic of lockdown and racing party of memory.
Yeah.
I'm currently replaying the second Last of Us.
Okay.
And I played that during lockdown when it was like, I gave myself I took a Friday off and gave myself a long weekend and just smashed through the whole thing. And that might be a factor, but there's a part of me that thinks, if I just forgot about this game entirely because I played it in a really bad time and then I zipped through it and it's gone. I'm playing the game and I'm like, I don't remember any of this. There's some big notable parts I remember, but I'm playing through it going like, you could have literally asked me to beg.
Excellent.
Tell me what was happening on this game.
Sunshine.
I don't know. This literally is.
Out of your mouth.
There you go.
Happier now.
Hey, I've just finished a year of not drinking. Let's go drinking.
I was listening to some pandemic era podcasts this week. Phil will know this already because he's just got that kind of brain for football.
I'm sorry that we've turned it into this chat. I knew it was going to happen. I'm sorry.
It'll link to a comment that I'm going to read in a second. So it works out. It ties together in the end. It may have escaped your attention that Sunderland got promoted to the Premier League last weekend. And I've been we had a lot of doldrum years en route to that. And I was listening to some podcasts from that era by the Wise Men Say, guys, it's the best Sunderland podcast out there, including when we were in League One, so low down the football pyramid that when they realised they weren't going to get the season up and running for like another couple of months, they're empty. You'll remember like the Premier League, obviously, they figured it all out and stuff. In League One, they were just like, well, nobody's got any money and nobody cares. So they just ran like a maths equation on who would have had the most points. And we went from like, I think it was 5th or 6th in the table to 8th and missed out on the playoffs based on Meth, Kelk and trade. And they just, you wouldn't have known, would you?
I didn't know that.
And I was listening to the guys just talking about this.
That is insane.
That's how little people think of the football. Once you drop below the championship especially. Like, and they were just, either lads
once nobody's getting paid enough money to do a thing.
Yeah, like stadiums that can't run or open or whatever. And the lads were just talking about like just the sheer devastation of effectively being robbed of a playoff place. The team that mathematically got in were Wickham, who got promoted through the closed-door playoffs, by the way. You couldn't watch because there was no streaming tech set up for it.
So you never know if the match even took place.
Just listening
to... They all just shook hands and were like, flip a coin? All right.
Just listening to them talk about this with like just the sadness, the devastation of like, well, the season's over and we've been mathed out of even getting a chance at promotion. And then like you'll hear like an ice cream van or somebody doing the garden in the background because you remember, well, if you weren't already sad about your football situation, it's the worst days of the Pando. And we're all like, nobody's figured out the mute button yet on the like the sort of the Skype call or whatever, and you can just hear people's like difficult lives happening in the background of the one thing they had as a release. Nope, none of that as well.
Not today, old sport.
It was dark times. And it's better now, but if you want a reminder, you could do what Amanda Slaughter is doing because it's her birthday today. Happy birthday, Amanda. She will be spending her special day listening to Podcast Horseman.
Okay.
There it is.
Our own pandemic diary.
You got there in the end.
He did.
I did. And reading Sidgwick's NXT book. Have a wonderful weekend, legends. Have a wonderful weekend yourself, Amanda. She did also say, I've only got to read this out because she's put the comment in, OMG, Hamflett on Wrestle Culture, this is the best birthday gift ever. Well, you're very welcome. But then she does say 3 of my faves all in one place. Hamflett, don't let the guys tease you too much. You'll always be 9 years younger than me. 9 years. We're all in our 40s, Amanda. It's absolutely fine. Phil, she asks, is your dad's sponsor form still up? This is a good excuse for a plug.
It is. Yes, it is pinned in my Twitter. That's what it's called. At the top, at Phil My Chambers, if you want to go and donate. I do want to just give a massive thank you to everyone that's donated. It is over £1,000 now.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, nice.
And yeah, absolutely smashed it. And my dad is very, very chuffed. And we'll be starting the walk in a couple of days. Nice. So yeah, he's very excited about it. So thank you very much, everyone. That is very, very nice.
Oh, awesome. The Daft Knight has been on. Welcome to 40 Hamflett. Thank you very much, Daft Knight. Question, with a squeaky clean Hogan Cena-ish golden boy atop, does the Fed need a badass Austin-esque anti-hero? How about carrying Kross? So I mean, there's two things here, isn't there? Like the rise of a new anti-hero in the wake of Cody Rhodes being the top babyface and Cena being abysmal. But carrying Kross,
but Cena's back now, so
yeah,
he's their anti-hero, right?
Does Cody become? Well, let's talk about this. Does Cody become an anti-hero? We've had a chat ski about Cody today, haven't we?
We have. Not one we should probably share on the.
Well, on about the idea that when the heel turn comes, that bit of it, when the heel turn comes, he's not going to half-arse it like he did in AEW. He's not going to try
I
and...
think, I don't think
he'll just commit one way or the other.
He won't resist it. I don't think he's going to resist the heel turn at all.
But not soon? Or... Because I wouldn't. I think there's another babyface running him.
I think there is.
Yeah,
and
especially
quite clearly,
with the Cena thing going on. Like, you don't need it now in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
Could you see it resulting in Cody gets it back off him in the end, and everybody shakes hands, and John Cena's like, "Oh, I shouldn't have done it. It was silly."
More and more people are saying Punk, I think, because they're just desperate for one of these matches to be good. But I think Cody's the story because there's the torch repassing. You know?
Yeah.
Yep. Sorry, guys. Sorry for all the stuff I did. Bye. And you just waved John Cena off.
Yeah. It's like, and imagine this didn't happen.
Yeah.
All right, boom, there you go. Back to square one. Good stuff.
But it's like the timing of it, like the Cody return at Saturday Night's Main Event in the R-Truth thing is immediately putting him in the path of John Cena. Yeah. Like already? It's like, is it too early to start this? Shouldn't Cody have something else to do whilst John Cena's off doing other things? He might still do. Maybe it's just there to
Money in the Bank is a good one to book it for because it keeps him out of the ladder match.
Yeah.
You're hiding the fact that, well, why would Cody not want to be immediately in that ladder match as the first sort of chance to get back to the belt?
And if ever there was a time to finally bring Dwayne back to do something, stopping Cody from winning a belt off Cena again somehow, like, that sounds like WWE, doesn't it?
Definitely
that sounds like WWE. Like, we didn't bring him out of Mania, and there he is.
There he is.
Here he comes. Or Travis Scott or whoever.
Yeah. Just stinking rock.
Who's John Cena's friends these days? I don't know.
Well, second part of the question, like carrying Kross, where are we at with him at the moment?
I like that he's trying as hard as he is to get over.
He's trying.
No, I do. I genuinely think he's doing a great job because how many people are talking about carrying Kross that would never have been talking about carrying Kross previously?
Quite right.
I don't know if it's a tough one because Jey Uso is currently doing it, and you don't need to be a great in-ring wrestler to be adored by the fans and to be meaningful in the company at all. That's been proven. Like, whether or not it's better or worse for that, that's up to you. But it can be done. Karrion Kross can create an excellent everything for me, but I have never really watched ironically, the matches of his I enjoyed the most were probably the ones in NXT. Like the very beginning, which when he was had him as a genuine murderer.
In the Pando, the fallen prey guy.
But it was because they kept them quick.
Yeah.
And it was like, it's an easy formula to be like, man, there's a beast. You ain't ever fixing a guy who comes out in Centurion's armor and going like, well, he's a killer.
I mean,
he's not.
In the exact same vein, though, Baron Corbin was in the literal exact same position in terms of NXT killer, called up, like, bunch of kind of dull matches, never really got into anything. All the fans were like, Baron Corbin sucks. And now everyone's like, Baron Corbin's great. Like, people can turn this around. It just takes years of hard work. I think and Karrion Kross is definitely putting in the
He's
groundwork
putting the graft in now. He's doing everything right at the moment. And I genuinely hope he gets something meaningful out of it because he deserves it. He's worked his tail off for it. And he clearly is hungry. As much as we don't like talking about wrestlers who are hungry and we're sick of hearing about it. He's a good example of somebody who actually is. And I would like to see him get it. I can never, ever, ever see him as the top guy. And I don't mean that, and it's not his fault. It's the way they have conditioned him, or me, to think of him in that company.
Yeah.
I just can't see it.
And
it was so easy to see in NXT.
Yeah.
I just can't see that. I can't.
The interview he did over Mania weekend that got everyone talking, the like shoot style interview thing that he did. Like, if they'd somehow managed to translate that onto TV quite quickly and capitalize off that as a character and push that side of him on TV, then I'd have more faith in WWE as a system being able to do it. Because that one interview he did was way more interesting than anything he'd done in WWE for like the 3 years prior.
Yeah.
But they sort of like they've definitely pivoted with his character on screen. It's not like what it was, but
He's a background guy rather than the Twitter
Yeah.
guy. He's actually allowed to do his stuff on Raw bit now.
Yeah.
But
You got to say that he's found a way to keep himself on. He's doing the Chris Jericho on WCW. Get your minutes.
Yeah.
Get your minutes and make them count.
T-shirts are on sale in the buildings.
Yeah.
That's huge. That's
Yeah.
going to make a difference to his wallet.
Sure,
You know,
of course.
it's like,
But in order to turn someone around like that, you need to capitalize on the moments of like acceleration, and that was one of them. It's like if you jumped on that straight away, maybe you could have done something, and he could have gone up the ladder a little bit. But it's like the more you don't capitalize on those moments, the less chance he has overall.
For everybody who would point to Jey Uso and say, "Well, look," because I would never have seen Jey Uso as a WWE champion,
yeah.
ever, and there he is. But for every Jey Uso example, and there's about 100 LA Knight examples where it's like, this man, you couldn't get moved in the building for his noise.
Yeah.
And you did nothing. You still haven't really done anything.
Third Money in the Bank in a row he's entering here.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, and where are all the people who were saying, like, yeah, I've got to push him?
Yeah.
Moment's gone.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't get it while it's there, it's Keith Lee's the other one I always think of, where it was like, because I saw that clip the other day doing the rounds where it was him and Roman.
Aye. First time I've seen that spot.
Absolutely electric. And just nothing. We'll just do nothing with him. Put a t-shirt on him if
Had
anything.
another chance with the Brock Lesnar Royal Rumble bit.
Yeah.
Like, there's a couple of moments there
And it
that
was,
it's like
that was off the bat of
the
his hot
time. Let's
NXT run.
go.
And he'd already dodged NXT missing the boat with him as well, haven't he?
That's
Somehow.
it. So 6 years, and now that started hitting the engagement cycle, that Roman Reigns thing, and it'd be like, what could have been of a Keith Lee, you know?
That's what I'm saying, man. It's like, you
Gotta
got
jump on these things.
There's that moment when it happens, and all the dominoes have to fall in place for you.
Yeah.
We have got one more from Marcel Laviolette, and then we'll get to the bloody good quiz, which, as I promised, is actually bloody good this time.
We'll be the judges.
Nothing to worry about. Marcel's, he's a two-part question here. We kind of answered the second one. Do you think Cena will leave with the belt so they can come up with a new design? We all think he's losing, right? Like at the end of all of this, even if there's a babyface turn or a Hall of Fame run, he's not actually taking it with him.
Well, if you'd asked me at the beginning, I would have said he's not actually taking it with him, right? But I would have also said maybe he'll be able to wrestle still, and maybe he'll be able to figure out the heel thing. And I haven't seen loads of proof yet. I will give him time, more time than I think quite a lot of people have given him.
More time than WWE would have given Karrion Kross in this situation.
But the vibe of, and yes, you know, there's a fine line between I'm wrestling bad because I want you to be annoyed. Well, anybody in the world could say that. Literally anyone. Actually, I'm being rubbish on purpose. So
1-0 to me.
So then they get the end of it being like, see, I did it. Like,
Mick Foley,
don't
ECW
you feel
thing.
stupid now?
Oh, I'm taking away everything you like about me and just doing rest holds and things. But that wound the crowd up so much that like you got the most amount you could possibly imagine.
And,
Like this is the same.
It's I don't know. It wouldn't surprise you to say, you know what, bollocks to it. You know what, actually, I will have that belt. I will have it. It's really nice.
I will be champ forever.
Yeah.
Thanks for being such a good soldier, John. Twist. I'll see you later. I'm bouncing.
He just legs it. For the first time in his life, he goes off script, grabs the belt, and just runs out the building.
Close the kiss.
No, he's got to get. Like, they won't let him do that. I don't think.
I don't think so.
There's no
I
way.
don't think he'll do that. He's way too much of a company guy.
Yeah, that's it, isn't it?
But he was also way too much of a Vince guy. So
This is also true.
I guess it's like Vince is like, bring the belt to my new program. It's like, oh great.
This is Vince's big ploy.
This is Vince's
He's
big
been
plot.
in John's ear. It's like, just be crap.
Yeah.
Like, ruin it.
Honestly, you wouldn't be surprised in the slightest.
Be crap.
Be crap.
I can get there, boss.
Hey, I think I've
And then I'll
got
make
it.
you the star of my new company.
Yeah. Do that frown you do that people call acting. What you mean? Relax my face? Yeah. Amazing, John. Incredible.
Such a weird face, isn't it?
The answer is I don't think he's going to take the belt, but I would not be surprised somehow if that ended up happening. Just because we're in a weird time frame with John Cena.
Weird
at the moment.
time. I think he's got to be losing. Marcel has also noted here, which just gives an excuse to talk about our favourite thing before we get to the bloody good quiz. Since Dr. Fed is here, poor Phil in the Bank and Big Nick on the Vegas Strip are in trouble. Is that a reference to the fact that I need to be carried around if I have a bit too much to drink and get too excited? Is that what he's referring to there? He's been grassing, you've been grassing me up for being
I haven't grassed you anything.
a booze.
I mean,
I don't think about you at all.
I don't think about you at all. Well, that went from 1 to 1,000,000. Thanks, mate. But we are a week on from the New Orleans news. From WWE leaving.
I couldn't help myself. It was right there.
Right there.
Leaving New Orleans, but
And it turns out it's not necessarily Vegas. It's just WWE is selling out to whoever the highest bidder is.
I'm starting to feel nervous. I know that much. It felt a done deal last week. Then WWE put out the story that has since been thought by a company insider to be trying to create a bidding war. We're thinking of going back to Vegas every year, guys, just to throw the chum out there. It's Vegas, though, right? This year, please. One of you confirm it.
I got nothing.
I can't, unfortunately. I won't allow myself to dream until...
Yeah.
I do enjoy the London part of this story where it's like, oh, London is a top, potential, but they've got to go around the whole fact that AEW paid them for their shows and they want London to pay WWE. Slightly different situation, guys.
So same deal as AEW?
Yeah.
What?
And it will absolutely cost WWE a lot more to put on a show in London, a WrestleMania show in London, than it would anywhere else, regardless of how much money London gives them. Just the fact of putting that on is going to cost them more. So
it's a strange one, and it's so weird. We talk about this all the time of if I didn't work in this job, you'd be so excited about a London WrestleMania.
Yeah.
But I do work in this job, and
we are very selfish.
While I would love to,
I'm excited for a lot of people watching and listening for a London WrestleMania.
I would love
realistically
everybody at home.
I'd be disappointed.
But I'm not pandering to the people here for this moment. I'm telling you my truth. My truth is, as in this job, one of the perks is we get to go to America to go to watch WrestleMania, and that is. It's so weird how normally it would be if I just think back to me who just started watching again, being like, a London WrestleMania!
London WrestleMania.
Amazing. And I'm like, ugh.
London.
Get out of it.
Yeah.
And Vegas is the Fed the city, isn't it? It is a perfect host city.
If you just keep saying it, enough, it will be.
Sign the deal. Yeah, get it advertised. I want another Vegas WrestleMania logo. I want the second one. Look, if you're not yet as enthusiastic about Vegas Mania as we are, when the announcement is made official, we will get you there. Anything is still possible in the pyramid.
Anything's possible in the pyramid.
I will also be here.
And to prove anything is possible, we're about to have a very good version of a
very good, bloody good quiz.
Good quiz. Very good, bloody good quiz.
Right, this bloody good quiz is brought to you by me because I've taken some flack in the past for my prior bloody good quizzes.
These the new initials for AI, ME.
I didn't use AI. I used a very helpful website around a particular subject matter that I'm going to get to.
ChatGPT.
No.
Is it about Canada and America?
Close.
Is it about pyramids in Las Vegas?
Is it about Calgary?
Further away. Close. I'd wanted to bring our adventures together and
it's about Vancouver.
Play it a little bit, play it at the gallery, but also entertain and inform the viewers and listeners who have probably at this point of the week had enough wrestling.
Tried too hard.
I've already lost interest. Tell me what it's about.
Tried way too hard.
It's about the adventures
being friends.
Yeah, it's about friendship, and you both lose. All right.
All right. Well, if I've lost,
if you were next to me, you'd have 1,000 points.
It's about the adventures of coyotes in American and Canadian cities. I went and did some digging. I went and found some
Googling coyotes.
I went and found some funny stories of what them little guys get up to.
Did we ever find out what happened to the coyote that we saw go into a shop in San Francisco?
Well, presumably it came out with I don't know, I was going to say half a thrift store in someone's leg. I don't know,
the CEO now, the coyote executive officer,
the owner of the thrift store forgot to say go away.
Said, come in, coyote. That was his first mistake.
Well,
the one thing they told me not to do.
I'm glad you've shown such enthusiasm in that because I tried to find similar stories of how the little buggers have tried to integrate into society, right? So 10 questions.
Hang on that. Try to find stories / spent how many hours and days looking this up after you heard the coyotes were a thing?
I did about an hour on it today, but mainly it was really...
I mean, you spent about an hour a day on it just while we were in America.
Fear searching, yes.
Sending you that picture as we looked for a toilet. As we walked through Stanley Park in Vancouver, and it was like, I was desperate for the toilet, so we went and found one. We were walking through the park. Me and Phil had gone off, and Hamflett was just sitting on a bench by himself, enjoying his day. And then we saw a sign that explained about coexisting with coyotes, which I'm sure has been covered on some other podcast somewhere or another.
Definitely.
But we sent him the picture, and that's safe to say. Not only was he alone,
Just
but he was
FYI,
uncomfortable.
Picture.
Just keep an eye
While
out
he
for this.
sat alone.
What?
In a park in Vancouver.
I would say I just did a running jump straight into the lake, but we'd recently discovered that a bear had floated along it into Vancouver like weeks earlier. So it's like, well, there could be bears in there. I can't go in there.
Oh, you started something here because I'm thinking about that little boat now.
Yeah.
What
What's
was
it
the
called?
boat called?
Sea something, wasn't it? Not sea cat.
Not sea. No, not sea.
It'll
span,
come back,
that's a
mate.
very different thing.
Oh,
Sea span.
Sea
no.
bream,
recover
sea
from
beam,
this.
sea-
I can't
no,
remember.
Can't remember.
Let's do some questions and then that boat will come back
Good
to us,
boat.
though, isn't it?
I'm not sure I'm
Boat-
going to
whole
recover
boat
from
family.
this.
Question number one. You
Yeah,
name
but
your names of your
troubles.
buzzers.
You're the MC of buzzers.
In which major Canadian city have coyotes regularly been spotted riding the subway? Is it A, Montreal, B, Vancouver, C, Calgary, or D, Moose Jaw?
So you've done a Wilbon and just found a silly place name.
I don't know what you're referring to, Phil.
Can I have the options again, please?
Yes, A, Montreal, B, Vancouver, C, Calgary, D, Moose Jaw.
We were in Vancouver and Calgary, and I have zero idea if either of them have a subway.
I was thinking Montreal.
He's got buttons for this, hasn't he?
Probably, yeah.
No, dear, that's wrong.
Let's go Vancouver. That'd be big enough to have a subway.
Because
That's
they
why we
coexist.
And that's why we didn't ride the subway, because the last thing you want is to see a suited and booted coyote
Going to work.
To work, yeah.
With these little kids dropping them off at school.
See you later, kids. And it's like, just terrorize other people. This is my job.
Yeah, well,
down Hamflett.
and I start, rings the bell. Ding, ding. That feels like a Wes Anderson bit on Fantastic Mr. Fox. They're all sitting down. They're all sitting down for a nice dinner.
Goodbye.
It's like, oh yeah, they're lovely.
Hangs up his hat.
And now I rest.
Now I rest.
1-0 to Phil. Question 2. So I had every faith in this. What place did a coyote get stuck in overnight in Chicago? And
Nicholas, your ass.
Thank God, no, because it was a member of staff that opened up in the morning. Like, oh my God. Was it A, a Quiznos? Was it B, a Build-A-Bear workshop? Was it C, a Lululemon? Or was it D, a mattress store?
Just wanted to snooze.
That's quite nice.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
member of staff was like opening the door. Jesus Christ.
Phil, I think not the mattress store because that's just too funny.
Aw.
Not the Build-A-Bear thing because they're usually like in malls or something, not on like a street. And why would a coyote be in a
What
mall?
work you do?
So I'm
What?
gonna go with the Quiznos.
Hey,
Phil, you did
yeah, he knows his coyotes.
Yeah.
Coyote.
I was just going to say Lululemon because it's fun to say Lululemon.
Oh yeah, I've got to say not that one because that's just a silly one he googled.
Yeah. Yeah, he's familiar.
Question number 3. Coyotes have adapted so well to urban environments in the United States that they've been witnessed in doing what in New York City? Is it A, ordering and collecting their own pizzas? Is it B, crossing Times Square undetected? Is it C, begging and campaigning for money with the Spider-Man / Times Square outfit guys? Or is it D,
Giving out hip hop CDs to Andy Murray.
indeed? I mean, I'd buy one for Coyote.
How did you know?
Is it
Take my
D,
cash, coyote.
barking and howling along to familiar Broadway musicals?
Phil, Times Square,
Yeah,
because
I
no
thought
one's
that.
looking down in Times Square. You're looking up at all the
looking
pretty
up.
lights.
Just like wiggles through the crowds. Yeah.
Apparently,
Me and
you can
coyotes.
coexist with
That
coyotes.
mind meld thing. I've got going with you guys. It's
Got
with
it.
coyotes
So
too.
Got it, yo.
That would like just keep looking at the lights. There's one right there. Don't look down, Hamflett.
He's just like, I've got a secret to share with you, and he unzips himself from the back.
Just
He's in a
coyote
coyote
all
in a Phil suit this whole time. For 7 years, I've waited for this moment.
And then I just eat Michael
Yeah.
Hamflett live on YouTube.
All right, this might be a fastest finger first. This one. What urban Canadian park has such a serious coyote issue that it has aggressive
Phil.
coyote alerts?
Wait!
Phil,
Nicholas,
Phil,
Nicholas.
Phil,
Phil,
Stanley
Phil.
Park. in
Stanley's
Vancouver.
Park.
Stanley's.
Is indeed
Stanley's
Stanley Park,
Park.
Vancouver. It was not Mount Royal Park,
Let's go.
Montreal, Nose Hill, Calgary, or High Park, Toronto. We saw it with our own eyes. I did want to shout out Nick, who when I sent him this image that you sent me, knowing that he would relate, he sent me one of when he was in Vancouver about 10 years earlier, and the sign was way more, these are dangerous, get the hell away.
Yeah.
Whereas now it's like the Coyotes are winning. Now we have to be their friends. The game has changed. Yeah, don't feel good about it. Right,
Because they've got a
4-0.
coyote for Prime Minister now, you see, or whatever they have. President, Prime
Keep
Minister.
that in as one of my anyway. 4-0 to Phil.
Tell them to coexist with us.
Putting Coyote
With a robe
tariffs
on.
on
He's got a
America.
robe on for some reason. Tell them to coexist with the humans.
In some North American cities, what unusual item of Coyote has been observed carrying in their mouths while roaming neighborhoods?
Babies.
Cigarettes.
Would you care for the options?
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose so.
Bags for life, reusable grocery bags.
Because they're the ones that go do their shopping.
See,
They need to carry it somehow.
Yeah.
Got to put the picture together.
They've not got pockets.
got no
News.
pouches.
Famous fact about coyotes, they've not got pockets.
Not like kangaroos, are they? Pouches.
I thought this would be entertaining.
Coyote
and
and his hind
informative.
legs, like, come on.
In your mouth.
In you get.
Come on, Hamflett. Hop in.
Like a new metal coyote with a pocket shit in. It's waiting for Fred Durst to come on.
And baggy jeans.
Reusable grocery bags, newspapers from the day they're spotted, Starbucks cups, and it does specify Starbucks cups, or little dog sweaters.
Little dog
Little
sweaters.
dog sweaters.
Jumpers
That's
that they put on.
horrible.
That would be
Nicholas.
quite good.
I don't know. Starbucks cups.
Yeah, that's what I would have gone with.
No, dear, that's wrong.
Ooh. Well,
What are
you
the
would
other
have
options?
you
I
would have gone
was
with it
not
though,
paying
so
attention.
that's it.
Reusable grocery bags, newspapers on the day they're spotted, or little dog sweaters.
It would
Reusable
be,
makes
the
sense. doesn't
newspaper
it?
would be very funny. That it's like every picture that a coyote wants of itself. It's
Yeah.
like
It's
This is
like-
definitely
the
today.
right day.
Like, turns-
Day,
it's like,
guys.
I don't even know this. It's like, I don't even know this paper is the correct date.
or they're just on the front cover that day and they're
Yeah.
like taking it home to add to their collection of coyote spots.
We did it again.
we made it.
There's a kid
It's
sitting
just
there,
coyoteception. Like,
cutting all the bits out, putting them in his little
Sticking on
scrapbook.
his little layer.
Did it again.
Good day. Today has been a good day. The carrier bags for
Yeah,
life.
bags
to
for
do their
life.
shopping.
No, dear, that's wrong.
it is brilliantly newspapers on the day they're spotted. Because I'm assuming, those like newsstands they've got, they've figured out how to just like
that's just-
savage their way in and just take them like.
Did it
I
happen
don't know
once?
if
Did
an
it happen
open
once, basically?
newsstand with no front or door or anything needs that much savaging to get in. You just wander up and grab it. And
Put a
off
dollar
you
in
go.
it and take it.
I mean, if you were the newsstand holder, you're not gonna. Oh, those ones.
Yeah,
I
you
thought
know
meant,
the
like,
automatic, not like an actual guy.
the guy.
Give me your papers.
That feels made up.
Well,
Coyote's like, got the dollar. Put the dollar in. Opened it up. Got the file through the paper. Got the paper. I went, oh, no,
the one.
sorry, there's another dollar tip.
nobody knows what they're capable of. The print media did not say "Go away, Coyote," and now look what they've done.
Now they're just making things up about them though.
It's, it remains 4-0 to Phil. Question 6.
Look at you.
In the City Hall in Austin, Texas, what was a coyote repeatedly spotted doing?
Calling a Waymo.
Nicholas, jacking it.
I mean, you're both correct, but none of those are the options I've got on my card. Jacking it in a Waymo was actually answer E, and you're not allowed to do that.
Yeah.
I've heard.
E for explicit.
Yeah. Was it A, riding the elevators? Was it B,
Where are they again?
City Hall in Austin, Texas?
All right, okay.
Was it A,
Being the governor.
riding the elevators? Was it B, lobbying for animal rights? Was it C, handing in an application for an art grant? Or was it D, trying to get appointed to a committee?
I mean, they've got to do
Nicholas.
something with all those newspapers that they've collected.
Yeah,
Maybe
that's
they're
it.
like doing a collage.
The narrative is
Exactly.
building around them now, the little
Right.
guys.
They've got the wire.
That's why they're getting
They're
it.
going to get the papier mâché
Licking on the
to
peak.
make another coyote. I'm not going to swear there. I was going to swear. I won't. I'll say the elevators one. And why not? Hey!
I would never enter a lift again.
Yeah. Yes, you would.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
No. Yes, you would. Couple of weeks you're having to walk 7 flights of stairs.
Yeah,
You'd
that
forget
would
about that coyote super quick. He's all right.
We'd like
What else happens to
I
us?
don't trust him reading that newspaper with his own face on, but I'll.
get a Waymo.
Puts it up in the coyote. Good day, sir.
Hello, he's like monocle cigar. Hello.
Which floor?
Yeah. Which floor? I was like, don't mind me. Somebody's coming to poo in the corner. Lovely day for it, isn't it?
Right.
Just off to see the governor.
The governor.
See about those signs they keep putting up about us.
Number 7. 4-1.
Yeah.
We're all been
What
very
time is
silly
it?
with these
What
coyotes.
time is it?
3:15.
3:15.
It's 3:16.
God.
Thank you for asking.
Hell yeah.
Everything's wrestling.
Coyotes in Toronto have been observed doing which oddly sophisticated thing? Using pedestrian crosswalks,
He got on one here, didn't he?
sitting on park benches, lining up for a Tim Hortons, or sitting patiently through the outdoor screenings of Leafs games?
Oh.
Phil, crosswalk.
Yeah.
No, dear, that's wrong.
Oh, that's right, because it has the little green person, so they're like, oh,
So they know.
We don't know if we can go. 'Cause it's a little green coyote.
Wait.
They spent ages waiting for like the Coyote one to come on. It just never does.
That's why they're in the governor's office. 'cause
Yeah,
they
we want the
lobbying
Coyote
City
on the.
Hall
It's all
to get
coming
the
together.
Coyote crossings.
So they got the newspaper to take to the governor's office to say, "This is what happens when you don't give us crossings." And then he's like,
Let's
"Look,
steal all
if
your
you just put the light
newspapers.
on." Yeah, the Leafs one, the hockey. I've got to go with hockey because I've been watching
No,
hockey.
dear, that's wrong.
Just the park's going to get scarier. Just chilling on the benches.
Yeah,
Just
that
like,
was actually the one I thought of first, but then I like the
am
idea of the
picturing
hockey
yet
stuff.
again
Yeah.
the newspaper Coyote, just like having his lunch. Nice day out, enjoying the weather.
It's only a couple of years, those little plaques that you see on benches. It's just all of those are replaced by different coyotes now instead of people.
I thought you meant that he'd been there for so long and he ended up getting his own bench. Dedicated to Coyote.
Oh, they just do real estate now, and it's one of the real estate adverts you see on American benches. Coyote real estate.
Better call Coyote.
Have you had an accident? Has a coyote bitten you in the last 10 days?
Question.
Tell somebody who cares. Jackass.
Oh, wait, and bite me.
Yeah,
Show me where you live.
that's good.
Question 8.
Okay.
4-1 Phil, so you can draw.
Ooh, that's
8, 9,
what
10,
we like.
yeah, you can draw.
I do like it, but I don't feel it's happening today.
Question 8. Which fast food item was found in a Chicago coyote's stomach during a study on urban scavenging? Was it A, chicken McNuggets? Was it B, a wrapped Chicago hot dog? Was it C, leftover poutine? Or D, half a slice of deep dish pizza?
Ooh, Nicholas. The wrapped up hot dog one.
That's what I would have gone with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
They
weird.
don't give a damn.
Because it's weird.
It's
And
weird.
also it's like,
Yeah.
sculpted.
Straight down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2 questions left. You can still draw, Nicholas. Urban coyotes have been known to do which of the following surprising things in American and Canadian cities?
Jacking it. Surprise jacking it.
It's flashing people.
Yeah. Decent exposure from the coyote. Also known as life.
A, attend late night parties.
He hates to interrupting him as well, doesn't he?
This is
Really
important
funny.
stuff.
Wilborn at least knows it and can like navigate it.
Dan,
He's
yeah.
just like, I don't like this.
I just want the quiz. I just want everybody having
just
like,
wanna-
There's a
I just
bit
wanna-
like you're having a nice time, so I'm like,
I
at
just
this
want to
point,
educate on the perils of coyotes.
Yeah.
and
the finish
where-
line's in sight.
That's what this is really about, isn't it? And the moral of the story is we're all in danger. Don't coexist with them.
Honestly, I don't know how you do it. You impress me. It's the price of getting to live in the cruise country, goddamn world. Attend late night parties, steal hats off pedestrians' heads, tag along with neighbourhood dog walking groups, or use paths rather than roads to avoid getting hit by cars.
And what was the lead in again?
What are they known to do in most major American and Canadian cities?
I'm going to need the options again.
Attend late night parties, steal hats off pedestrians' heads, tag along with neighbourhood dog walking groups, or use paths rather than roads to avoid getting hit by cars.
I don't know, but I guess I'll go with the parties because parties feels nice, doesn't it? Like, let's go to a party.
Just nice.
Have a beer with your mates.
Yeah. Chill out. Listen to
Yeah,
some
if
music.
you're going to coexist, you've got to get invited to the parties as well.
Exactly, yeah.
You know?
No,
What's the point
dear,
in
that's
coexisting
wrong.
if
No,
don't
you
get
don't.
invited?
No
you don't,
coexisting. You
Nicholas.
do not go to the party. Not uninvited. Denied.
Well, we saw a coyote crossing a street to go to a shop in San Francisco, so I'm going to go with the dog walking groups.
Yeah.
No,
Or
dear,
we
that's
just saw a dumb
wrong.
coyote.
I thought you were going to get it right because we did see it, like observing the rules of the paths at least. It was indeed, they've
Crossing
learned to
the
use
paths.
paths rather than roads because they're obviously
That
seeing
was my oldest.
and
So you're getting hit.
That makes sense.
by
Yeah.
walking
cars.
into shops,
sense, yeah.
apparently.
And
yeah,
you know
but-
you wouldn't have this problem if you had a crossing, right? Which you've got to go to the governor
green light,
for.
yeah.
It's all coming together.
Last question. We've all had a great time. I think we can
And
agree
it's not a
that.
surprising behavior, it's a
no.
logical behavior.
Yeah.
If I was a coyote, I wouldn't want to be run over.
Exactly. It's
So-
about evolve or die, right?
You use paths. Why wouldn't a coyote?
Because I'm people and they're coyotes, Phil. We've gone wrong somewhere here.
Oh, yeah, because
I mean, just in terms of the coexisting thing, I don't support it. I might be a stance. I don't know if I'm supposed to take that or not. Or I don't know what to do. Number to question 10.
Oh, he's one of them, is he?
What?
He's one of them guys, eh?
Coyote hater.
Yeah. You got his little red hat on. Hey, go away, coyote.
Make America safe again. What?
See him
What?
next month joining in with the fox hunts or something, just because it's the closest thing you can get in this country.
Make me safe again.
Yeah, basically.
Basically.
Last question. What's one ways cities have tried and failed to keep coyotes out? So this was an actual thing that City has tried and it's not worked.
Signs that say "Go away, Coyote."
Yes. Or actually saying "Go away, Coyote."
I didn't feel safe with either of those things. Was it A, banning yoga in parks? Was it B, setting fire to food waste each night? Was it C,
idea.
claiming to invent coyote-proof fencing to stop them climbing over? Or was it D, playing Nickelback loudly on a loop?
I really hope it was the
Funny if it was
fencing, and then they just dug
Nickelback.
under it instead of climbing over it.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna.
The food thing feels like a bummer for not like wasting the food.
Feels like a bummer for not just coyotes,
No, but for
just
people who need food.
everything.
You know, like when
everything,
the
yeah.
food
like
banks
just
and stuff. But
give
like,
it to homeless shelters.
yeah,
like,
that's what I mean.
it's-
We're like, no, instead of doing that, we're going to burn it.
Yeah.
Under the pretense that
that
it's to stop the coyotes,
Stop
but
the
actually
coyotes,
we
but-
just don't want to give it to you
Yeah.
for for less than $15. But the food one, Nicholas, the food one. Why not?
No, dear, that's wrong.
Coyote-proof fences.
He knows his
And did they
coyotes.
just dig
this
under
guy.
They just dug on there.
Yeah.
It turns out you can get under a fence rather than going over it.
Who'd have thought it?
People are stupider than coyotes.
Imagine going like, that's a fine looking fence. I've spent, what the hell is
Next
that?
to you, hello,
I
reading a
wrote
newspaper.
coyote-proof on that. Like,
Coyotes next to you reading a newspaper.
I was so proud of it. I put my name on it, and now a coyote's got through. The George Formby. George Formby's.
Phil is the winner of this week's Bloody Good Quiz.
Yay.
2 more comments I'm going to sneak in. Like
think
under the
coyotes
fence,
are the
if
winner.
that's
You'll have to
okay.
I think coyotes are the winner of this quiz.
You won the quiz.
Oh,
I don't know if you know this, but the stream, it goes on forever, so we're
Yeah.
It's nice to each other at the end of a quiz.
not in a
Also,
hurry,
it's
yeah.
Friday. Who cares?
Yeah.
Excellent. Matt Rains, how the hell have I missed this? You haven't, Matt. You've made it just in time. Happy Friday, bestie boys. Hope you three have a wonderful weekend. Legends Lounge coming soon. Stay
He's
tuned.
got somewhere to be, any.
No, apparently so.
I was trying to wrap this up.
Very
You want to wrap nothing? Just take your time.
Oh, class. Enjoy Leeds this
Someone said
weekend,
there's a
bestie.
coyote in the room or something.
I will, Matt Rains.
Oh, wait, what's that? If a coyote just popped up behind him, that would be the greatest thing we could ever put on
Question
YouTube.
11. Coyotes have started doing podcasts. Well, see you later, guys.
How do we get a WhatCulture Coyote? That's
How do we do a WhatCulture Coyote? We got to figure a bit out for
Gotta
that.
figure out how to get a coyote.
We don't.
How do we scare the crap out of Hamflett with a coyote one day? I'll work with it.
We'll
I'll work
we'll
with it.
get
Yeah.
there.
Cheers, Matt. I will have a good weekend in Leeds. And if you're in Leeds, by the way, going to that massive Kaiser Chiefs gig, find me somewhere. Let's get hammered. I'm doing a week delay drinking for Sunderland getting promoted and watching a bunch of bands. It's going to be class. And last comment, I think, from Sailor Emin. Oh, boy. With the WWE TNA partnership, do you think we will get the match we need but don't want? I think we might. Charlotte Flair versus Tessa Blanchard.
Oh, boy.
I noticed they paired her with Robert Stone
Yes.
yesterday. And are they trying to like ghost her in?
I'm really worried that's
I think they're trying to
Seems like
ghost
it.
her in.
How does Wilborn navigate that?
And he won't. He'll just say she's great because that's his bit.
There's no
There's
navigating.
no
He just says
navigation
it.
at all.
Yeah.
He just says stuff.
Why navigate it when you can just go through it?
He doesn't think about things. He just
Yeah.
says it.
No jokes. All jokes aside, yeah, no.
Just no.
Just no. Like,
I sort of want to look at the match, you know.
I
but
wanna
it's-
look at
it's
it,
the
but-
Tessa Blanchard.
I want to look at it, but it's just a weird vibe.
The more we normalise
Yeah.
it, you know.
That's the thing. That it's a shame because you should believe in the idea that people can change and grow,
Yep.
etc.
Yep. Forgiveness
But
should be a thing.
I do also think it could set a bad precedent,
Yeah.
one that I'm not necessarily sure.
Especially in an industry with some bad people, let's say.
And a company with a less than fantastic record,
record
when
of
it
these
comes to these
things, yeah.
things. I think that's fair to say.
Yeah.
But if there is enough hype in the match and the people are asking for it and the WWE want it, it doesn't matter what the people involved have done or do, they will make it happen.
Mm-hmm.
So you may well see it before the end of time.
So,
And if Char-
you created the demand. It's on you.
and to be fair, you feel like if Charlotte Flair decided to make this her thing, that she wanted to find a way back for Tessa Black, for whatever reason she might want to do
For
that.
whatever reason.
Hey, I mean, there's been stranger things have happened.
Exactly, yeah.
If she decides that, based on what she's
happening,
allowed
yeah.
to see on TV, that she can do whatever she wants.
yeah.
She can make that happen.
And the more we talked about this, I think it probably is going to happen, isn't it? Rick and
probably.
Tully's kids, haven't you?
Yeah. I have to remember what I want and what is going to happen.
Yeah.
Not the same.
Not
They aren't the same thing all the
They
time.
never are.
Going to happen.
That's why coyotes are in cities that Hamflett wants to visit. Can't have
No,
those
that's what I
things.
wanted. So
Oh, that's what you wanted. It's not what he wanted.
that's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you wanted it too, though, right?
Oh, yeah,
Oh yeah.
100%.
Cool. I thought so.
Matt Rains has dropped in to say he also heard Mr. Vane on the radio yesterday morning, but couldn't help think of us three. And of course, Mr. Jeans, who is, I believe, somewhere in the chat.
I hope you are, Mr. Jeans, and I hope you're having a wonderful. You too, Matt. I hope everybody in the chat's having a wonderful Friday.
Me too.
Have a great weekend. Should we get out of here, boys?
I mean, if you're in a rush.
You're in a rush, yeah. If you don't want to be, yeah.
If you want to
my battery's going quite
disappoint
low, so
everyone and not do a
we got left?
like 5-hour Wrestle Culture.
We've got 22%.
No
What's that in minutes?
22 seconds, that is.
All right, okay, in which case. It always works. It always works. Where's that?
This one, the song. You can talk.
Thank you, Phil. Thanks for joining us on another polished and professional Wrestle Culture. Wilborn will be back next week if he's not got his fatherly duties. In the meantime, you can catch a couple of podcasts with him and Sijin.
45 seconds.
Myself and Wilborn did the SmackDown preview that's available to view and listen to. And myself and Sidgwick had a very interesting and not as fiery as you would think debate about who booked CM Punk better, WWE versus AEW. We'd love your feedback on that. We'll do some more of them. That's going to be dropping tomorrow. Thank you, Nicholas. If you want to follow us all, you can do at WhatCulture WWE, where you can also find Adam Nicholas at...
It's Adam Nicholas.
Really fun, 'cause I was gonna do the same
thing. Also follow Phil Chambers at
Bill. My Chambers. Follow this guy.
At Michael Hamflett. And until next time, we will see you soon.
Deafened everybody. The loudest little bit. Because we're still live, of course.
Oh, well, thank you very much for joining us. Wrestling.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Why not?
Wrestling!
That was a bit coyote.
That was a bit coyote, wasn't it?
See what I did there?
See you later, guys.
Gotcha. Where are you going? What's
I'm turning the audio off.
I've got to go.
We're still live on YouTube, though.
Okay.
We're still there. You've still got hosting to do.
How does he end it then?
Host
Does he
it,
just
come
wave
on.
bye-bye or something?
No,
Is
you've
it
got
like
to
an
tell them
old...
things. I don't know. Tell them a secret.
I feel like
Tell them
that.
something they don't know about you.
I've got nothing left. I've been doing this for like 7-8 years. You've got to pour it out there every week, Phil. You don't understand, mate. You've got to give it all. I'm getting pissed and Leeds tomorrow. Come and join me, please. It's going to be class.
Just some deep, dark family secret.
Bye,
Goodbye,
everybody.
everyone.
Inverted penis.
Coyotes are cool. Cool OTs.